Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am his Grandcat, and today we're going to live stream the last hour of PCC. Well, I've got an hour and 4 minutes. It's Becky Lynch versus Bayley, and Becky Lynch seems to be quite in the lead. I don't think in the next hour Bayley's going to be able to get the 4 million additional points that she's going to need in order to take over. Alex Gardner says, "Hi, Grandcat." Hello, Alex Gardner. I am just bringing up the chat on my laptop so that I can see all the chat in front of me so I can talk to all you guys. Isaac says, "Za, how's it going?" Hello, Isaac. I am doing wonderfully. We don't appear to have any lag here today, which is very, very good. It looks like Team Ring Domination is going to give us a Ray Phoenix. He said forgetting his name. I was about to say Dragon Lee, and I was saying, no, don't say Dragon Lee. That's incorrect. Daniel Miner says hi. Isaac said, "I'm trying to get a pro dom." Vampire548 says, "Hi, it's Grandcat." Hello, Vampire. Baron Von Joy says, "Link shared." Thank you, Baron. Isaac says, "Can you check my cards, maybe?" Maybe, but what we are doing here primarily is going to be playing PCC. So this is literally all that we're going to see for the next hour, is big old Grandcat sitting here and tapping away. Brian says, "Hello, Grandcat." Hello, Brian. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, everyone. How is the audio? Can you hear me fine? Can you hear the in-game audio? Is the in-game audio too loud? Isaac says, "Buy some point boosts, baby." I don't think so. I think I'm just going to play and see what we get. Alex Garner says, "Do you know when the Summerslam 25 fusions are out?" I'm not sure, but I imagine they are probably going to be recent. They're probably going to be soon. I haven't heard anything about the Summerslam 25 fusions. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of these. And is it just me, or does this arrangement of cards look somewhat sus? It looks a little amogus. Maybe if I do that, it'll look even more so. Just thought I would do that for a bit of fun. And there we go. I don't think we need any of those. We're just going to go ahead and dust all of them. Of course, we've still got all of our freebies to do, but we're going to wait until the event is finished, because this is only on for another hour. We're currently ranked 2,914. The objective is to try and stay in the top 3,000 since we've came this far. Christopher Bennett says, "I got done with campaign last night, number 541. Congratulations. It is not an easy campaign to do, this one. So very, very cool indeed." Alex Gordon says, "I have 21 gold fusion tokens." I think I've got tremendously more than that. I'm not sure how many I've got. Isaac said, "Probably after the event ends." Isaac said, "You're getting the Becky card. Congrats." Well, unless we somehow slide 7,000 points the next hour, I think we are guaranteed to get the Becky Lynch. And we'll also get the additional reward. What's the reward? Is it 1,000? Yeah, 1,000 credits and rare traffic. I was thinking it was 1,000. I was thinking, I don't know, 1,000 sounds like a lot, but yeah, no, it is. Isaac says, "I'm stuck at 190 cards in SummerSlam Rocks." Ah, you're only 10 away. I remember getting to that one. Vampire says he's at rank 1,657. Congratulations, you are doing a lot better than what big old Grandcat is. Alex Gardner says, "I'll be back, going to play my PCC so I can guarantee myself Becky." Absolutely. Now is the time to 100% play in PCC, because this is when everyone will be doing their final grinds. TB Supercard says, yo, TB Supercard. What does the TB stand for? I am very curious. I hope there's nothing rude. Shirayuki says, "Did someone say Sheebs?" No, no one did. No one has. Not for a long time. Hello, Sheebs, and welcome to the live stream. It is good to see you. I do enjoy when you show up. Isaac says, I like my Team Road Glory better than PCC. TB Supercard says, the UK Aya a joke. I think you've mispronounced the word is, which is rather impressive considering it's only 2 letters. So, any particular reason you think the UK is a joke, or do you just think that we are a particularly funny bunch? I'm curious. Daniel Maynard says, I've been stuck on a single Summerslam 21 fin for 2 weeks. My goodness. And that is atrocious. Christopher Burnett says, I'm going Becky for Boom, so I'll have 3 different Becky cards. That would be cool. Isaac says, my cards kind of suck and I lose matches. Oh, that's unfortunate. I can literally play without even looking at the screen. Shiryuki says, I always show up at the most unexpected moments. That's just me. It is indeed. That is exactly you, Sheebs. Brian is at rank 5,194. Vampire says, hey, I'm from England, be nice. Big Ol' Grandcat is from the UK as well, although I'm on the other side. Big Ol' Grandcat is a big old Scottish cat. Isaac says, I'm working on it. Daniel Maynard says, you can easily win every PCC and wild match with legacy cards. Oh, okay. I've never tried, but I can 100% believe that the game would probably match your deck. And if you've got stronger supports, then you probably just straight up win. Sheep says, like, Scottish Grandcat. I am indeed. Isaac says, I'm German, sir. Ah. We have members of the Grandcat Grand Fleet all over the globe, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Vampire says, my uncle lives in Scotland too. Not sure which part, though. Well, Scotland is actually bigger than what people think. People think it's a small place, but I don't know, the Highlands are pretty massive. We've got a little place called Loch Ness that you may have heard of. Has a big old dinosaur in it, supposedly. I'm still waiting on TB Supercard telling me what the TB stands for. Isaac says, I'm proud of you for hitting 7,000, can barely manage to get subs. Thank you, Isaac. Of course, I literally could not have reached 7,000 subscribers without all of you. It is an incredible feat, and I am extremely grateful to each and every single one of you. Shiryuki says, I've met the Loch Ness, and trust me, I've met the Loch Ness, trust me. Me and Nessie are best friends. Really? Wow, that's surprising. Add that to the lore. Vampire says, oh, you mean Loch Gyarados with the big old red Gyarados, the shiny Gyarados in it. Osmar says, hi. Hello, Osmar. Isaac says, I got you to 7,000k by subbing from my family's phones. Well, thank you. Not only are you a member of the Grandcat Grand Fleet, but also your grandparents, your parents, your siblings, your children, your grandchildren, your pets, your pet rabbits, your pet hamsters, pet goldfish. What the hell? What's that going on? So I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you all so much. I'm going to try and pronounce your name here. Armugan Ali says hi. Hello. It's Toph says hello, Grandcat. Hello, Toph. My goodness. Toph is someone that you're all going to meet very, very soon. He is going to be, I'm not going to give out spoilers, but he might show up in a video, and he might show up in a video very soon. So, hello, Toph. Welcome. Thank you for coming along to my little live stream. Armagan Ali said hi. Hello again. Isaac says, I'm trying to get Zelina. Can you put Valor or Unhinged cards into the Zelina to get a strong card? Can you put Valor or Unhinged cards into the Zelina? Oh, do you mean to train her to get her up to level 100? Yeah, you can use anything. Literally any cards that you aren't particularly interested in. I mean, you could use just Enigmas or WrestleMania 40s, so long as you've got enough of them. You'll get her all the way up to level 100. And it's a very, very strong card. We are now 54 minutes away from the end of this PCC. Teddy says hello. Hello, Teddy. It's very nice to meet you. Isaac says, I didn't mean anything sus. Sorry, Za. Absolutely not. I didn't even consider it as anything sus until you actually said that. Now I'm like, oh, I can see how that would be seen. But no, I wasn't even thinking along those lines. And anyone that does think along those lines needs to get your mind out of the gutter. Also, I can't help but notice that we are having zero lag at all. I don't know what that lag was about. That one live stream that I did, where we completed campaign mode, which was incredibly rude because that was the live stream that I was most pleased with. That I finally managed to complete campaign mode, and it lagged incredibly. Isaac says, I got the Ivy Nile card from the stream. Oh, very cool. Very nice to see. Vampire says, John Cena is treating you well. He certainly is. Big match John, the Unseen 17, greatest of all time. Mr. Juan Cena himself. Isaac says, shaking my head means shaking my head. Did you know that? Yes, I did know that SMH means shaking my head. That is something I learned quite some time ago. Isaac said I hurt myself today. Do you mean you actually hurt yourself, or are you quoting the Johnny Cash song? I hurt myself today. I believe that's Empire of Dirt. Oh, Isaac says I was at the park and I landed on my hand. You landed on your hand? How on earth did you manage to do that? That's impressive more than anything else. Siobhan White says, hi, Grandcat. Hello, Siobhan. Very nice to see you. Thank you for coming along to my live stream. We are literally just playing the last hour of PCC, so that is what I'm up to. He says I got shoved by a kid while playing basketball. Yes, basketball. The Grandcat has injured himself playing basketball as well. There was a time that someone passed the ball to me, but passed the ball about 5 feet to the right. And big old Grandcat decided to try and be a hero and try and catch it. And I jumped to the side and I extended my hand and tried to catch the ball. And I thought it missed, but it turns out that the ball actually bent my ring finger. That is the finger between the middle finger and the pinky. It bent that one right backwards, and I didn't even notice, didn't even feel it until about 5 minutes later when I went to dribble the ball, and like I got a shooting pain in my hand, and I looked down, and my ring finger was like black. It was just like completely bruised, and I was like, ah! And we ran to the bathroom and just put it under cold water, and they went and I was still in school, and they went and they got a doctor, and well, they didn't get a doctor. They went and they got someone to take me to the hospital, and I got immediately x-rayed, and yeah, it turns out that I had dislocated my finger playing basketball. Teddy says, "Oh dang, you okay?" Yes, I am completely fine. I'm a big old ancient Grand Cat now, so this was many, many centuries ago, back in the Mesozoic era, probably. So it was a long, long time ago. But yes, that is big old Grand Cat's experience with playing basketball. So yes, basketball can be a very dangerous sport for a non-contact sport. Now we're going to go ahead and dust all of that. We don't need any of it. Christopher Burnett says, if anyone wants to beat campaign mode, they got to have Cena. I think you may be able to beat campaign mode without the Battle Pass Cena, but the Cena makes it significantly easier. Isaac says, I didn't break it, I just landed on it. Funny, it's better now in the cast. Okay, interesting. The wording of Isaac reminds me, the way that he said in the cast, that see the term of break a leg, it actually comes from people wanting to be in the cast of a show or a play or a theater, and that's why they say break a leg, because if you break a leg, you'll be in a cast. That's where that comes from. So that's a little bit of interest behind that. Vampire says, just gotta wait until they bring out cards that will help more in campaign. Absolutely. I'm sure that they will, especially when we start getting better support or equipment. Isaac says, hey Zach, can I say something funny? So long as it's family friendly. I can't go reading out anything that would be considered extremely rude. Isaac says it's raiding cats and dogs, get it? Oh, I imagine so. Zen, I mean, if it's literally raining cats and dogs, I think you may have some kind of hurricane problem in your area, maybe a tornado. Zen says around 7k, which isn't great, but at least I'll get the card. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have 7,000 subscribers, and I am extremely pleased with that. So 7,000 is a really, really, really good number in big old Grand Cat's opinion, because it reminds him of the amount of love that he has from the entire Grand Cat Grand Fleet, and I appreciate each and every single one of you. We're going to keep the John Cena. Isaac says, I'm only at 100,000, barely even played. It may be a little bit difficult to climb up now. Could certainly try, but that's why Big Ol' Grand Cat has been loosely playing in the background pretty much over the past 4 days. Although I have been away at work, and I've been doing quite a bit of business, as it were. Siobhan White says, I have barely done PCC. It really depends on how much you feel you need the Becky Lynch. If you're not particularly interested, then it's completely fine to not do so. One of the things I like about PCC is it's free to play. Like, you don't need to rely on getting pick doublers or reveals or blocks or anything like that. It's literally just sitting here and clicking away. Isaac says, I can understand why you're tired. Work is stressing. Yes. Big Ol' Grand Cat is his own boss, which comes with its own disadvantages because it means that I'm responsible for everything. But I don't think that I could reasonably work for someone anymore. I think I am essentially feral at this stage. Zen says, I was 3 to 4,000, but I finally fixed my sleep schedule, so that ruined it. Ah, my goodness, Zen, I've been in that exact same position before. Yes, it sucks. I mean, like, on the plus side, you've got your sleep schedule back in position, but you miss out on getting a high ranking card. Larry Mertz says, I just started playing PCC today, and I'm at rank 10,000. Oh, well, if you keep going, you'll be able to get yourself the special edition Becky Lynch card. Or the event Becky Lynch card, I should say. Even at rank 10,000, it will still be a decent card. There we go. Isaac says, Rhea Ripley card coming tomorrow? Yes, it is. We have seen that in the login. It tells you that on Wednesday, I think it's Wednesday actually, I don't think it's Tuesday. Wednesday, we're getting a brand new special edition Rhea Ripley. And I'm hoping, just like the rest of these championship cards, that... oh no, it's not a championship card, it's the Summerslam 11th anniversary card. That's what it is, or the Supercard 11th anniversary card. Yes, that's what it is. So it's going to be very, very similar to the Roman Reigns card. So that's going to be very, very cool. And that Rhea Ripley will help a lot of people get through campaign mode. Zen says, also got to get SummerSlam Rocks done, 194 of 200. Only 6 left. It says, you're almost finished with the whole thing. Nice. Absolutely. Getting those last few cards are the ones that are the major problems. I remember I had particular issues with the PvP cards. Ones like Finn Balor and Montez Ford. Those ones were giving me issues. I ended up spending a significant amount of credits trying to get those last few remaining cards. Isaac says, isn't 730 plus 5 735? It should be. That sounds right. Wait, did I not get 5 points last time? Giuseppe says, hello from Italy. Hello, Giuseppe. Thank you for coming along to my stream. It means a lot to me. Vampire says, I got the PvP cards I needed in my first PvP pack. Takito says, I need the Miz card for the Zelina. Miz comes from... I think he comes from Walk the Line, which is what we're getting next, or what we're getting on Wednesday. Zen says, I got 4 today, but it took me days to get Woods. Finn has been the most difficult. Blacklight says, for SummerSlam Rocks, I need Season 3 Roman and Season 4 Miz. Isaac says, in Germany right now, love from Germany. Thank you, Isaac. It means a lot. Giuseppe says, hey bro, I always follow you in the evening while I play WWE Supercard. It entertains me a lot. Thank you, Giuseppe. It really does mean a lot to me. There's so many YouTubers out there that say this, and it sounds like it's cliche. It might even sound a little bit cringe. But it really does mean a lot to me to hear that people enjoy me coming on camera and just making my silly little jokes, and that it's entertaining people. That does genuinely make me quite happy. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Isaac said, already had the Miz. Vampire says, walk the ropes for Miz is on Wednesday. Yes, indeed. That will help a lot of people finish off your mega collections and get your Zelina Vegas. We're only 1 point away from the PCC pack, so 1633. For anyone wondering why that comes up, it's just to prove that you are a human and you are not indeed a robot that's just tapping away here. There is some people that have access to devices or cheating material that allows them to just keep playing the game infinitely, which is very, very rude. Giuseppe says, I have 199 of 200. Sheamus from SummerSlam Season 2 from Gauntlet is impossible to find. You know, I think I had problems finding that Season 2 Sheamus as well, but at least Gauntlet is now out, so it gives you a chance of getting him. Zen says, SummerSlam 17 Jimmy Uso has also been a pain to get. My goodness. It sounds like people are having all sorts of issues Let's go ahead and claim this pack now. We've got a Valor W Universe, a Fusion Token, and a Eric from WrestleMania 41. Yes, Vampire says Gauntlet with the reduced chance rates on Razor. That is something that very, very annoyed me. See if they had kept the ratios at 15% and such from the very beginning, I wouldn't have been disappointed. But the fact that it used to be higher ranks and then they updated it to be lower seemed a bit disgusting. Tamu says, I won't be getting the PCC cards, but at least 1,000 credits for free. Do remember that in order to get that 1,000 credits, you have to play a set number of games. So make sure that you play the amount of games that you need to play in order to claim those 1,000 credits. Fine, let's take a quick look at it just now, because some people aren't aware of this. Yeah, you need a minimum of 100 points. So you need to make sure that you've got 100 points in order to get that 1,000 credits. Blacklight says, sorry Season 2 Roman and Season 4 Miz. I hate King of the Ring. King of the Ring is just long. It just takes such a long time. Let's see here. Giuseppe says, on PCC, I'm 4,400. I think that's good. That is good. Anywhere in the top 5,000 is fantastic. But I mean, really, anyone in the top 10,000 is going to get the Becky Lynch card. So I would claim that anyone in that top 10,000 is a winner. Siobhan White says, Tacto, how do you get the 1,000 credits for free? It is basically so long as you picked Becky Lynch at the start. And you get over 100 points. In your reward section here, you'll see that there's this little pack here for choosing the winning champion, and it gives you 1,000 credits and it gives you a free rare graphic, but you have to get at least 100 points in order to claim that. Larry Mertz says, this is my first event Becky Lynch card. Ah, very well done. Congratulations. It is a very cool looking Becky Lynch as well. Vampire says, I reckon people was getting him a lot on it, so they had to reduce the chances to stop it. Even if that is the case, why not just let people get the Razor Ramones? Why would you actively choose to try and stop people from getting him? It just seems crazy to me. Siobhan White says 100 or 1,000 as a Grand Cat. It is 1,000 credits that you get. Larry Mertz says, I didn't know who was going to win, so I chose Bayley. It was really difficult to sell. And Giuseppe says, what do you think the next signatures card is? Honestly, I have no idea. I am not given any additional information than what everyone else is. In fact, sometimes I get the information later than everyone else. That has happened more than once. But there's plenty of other champions that I would like to see. I think I'd probably like to see Seth freaking Rollins with the world title, as he is the current world heavyweight champion. I think that one would be pretty cool. It would also go well with our John Cena with the undisputed, even though Cody Rhodes is now the champion. I would really like to see Cody Rhodes with the belt as well. I think that would be really, really cool. So, I mean, there's a few of those. We've already got the image of The Rock with the People's Championship over his shoulder. Unfortunately, you're just not allowed to use it because it's a dual event card, which sucks because that is the image that I'd be using on every single one of my rocks if I had the ability to do so. I also wouldn't mind some old school wrestlers as well. Maybe Macho Man with the world title. That would be pretty awesome. Maybe Undertaker with the belt. That would be pretty cool. Certainly a few out there that they could go with. Actually, you know what? I would really like to see China with the Intercontinental Championship. I think that would be a really, really cool image if they could give us that. Vampire says, buy credits to keep going in Gauntlet, meaning Cat Daddy get more money. I think he's talking about the the Razor Ramon card in Gauntlet and why they lowered the thing. But I mean, if people want to spend money on Supercard, they will. And I think all you're doing is putting people off playing the game by reducing the chances of pulling what is going to be a special card. Let's see here. Giuseppe says, maybe I saw a picture on X that said The Miz. Oh, well, that would be cool. Miz with the spinner belt. That'd be awesome. Or maybe Miz with the Intercontinental Championship. That could also be a thing. Zen says, I got the Pro the first 2 times, luckily. That is very awesome. Congratulations for that, Zen. Takato says, I think it's going to be Brock. Ah, well, we do have the Brock Lesnar with the original world title over his shoulder. I mean, I say the original. I mean the previous one before it became gold. So, yeah, maybe we'll have an updated Brock Lesnar. It would make sense considering that he's returned to the company. Larry Mertz says, what about an Undertaker Championship card? That is one of the ones that I mentioned. I think it would be really, really cool to see a title with Undertaker. Particularly, I'm thinking of the Ministry of Darkness Undertaker. That would be very, very cool. Vampire says, yep, they would want to spend more if they had a chance of getting him. Volzers says, hello, Mr. Grandcat. Hello, Volzers. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. If I'm not, please do correct me. I like to make sure that I am saying the names of all of my Grandcat Grand Fleet members correctly. Zen says, also pulled Axiom twice. I'm just lucky. My goodness, that is very, very lucky. I haven't even pulled him once. Shavon White says, Zen, how? I couldn't even get him once. Larry Mertz says, I want to see Brock Lesnar with a cowboy hat image. That would be cool. Giuseppe says, I've pulled 1 Axiom. That's very cool. I mean, the Axiom, you've got 1 chance at it, and like once per day, and it's a 10% chance. So being able to pull 1 is very impressive. Being able to pull 2 is incredible. Volzer says, it's correct, don't worry. Thank you. David Spruce says, hello, and then deleted the message. Well, I still saw it, so I'm still going to say hello back to you. Take that. Ha. You have been helloed, good sir. It looks like we've got about 33 minutes left in PCC. Isaac says, still stuck at 190. David Spruce says, didn't realise I had my government name on show. Oh no! You'll need to edit your YouTube account then, so as to hide your name. Giuseppe says, what's your favourite card design? Mine is Arcane. Arcane's probably up there. Arcane's really, really cool, actually. That's a very good shout. What is my favourite card design? You know, I can't remember what Royal Rumble it is, but there's one of the Royal Rumble event cards, and I'm particularly thinking of Seth freaking Rollins, where in the background, it's just a mountain of people that are throwing each other. Like, it's a mountain of, like, shadowy silhouettes that are just throwing each other out of the ring, and I always thought that that was a really, really cool image. It's only the event version, because the regular Royal Rumble one didn't look as good, but that's the one that I keep thinking of. Volzer says, I just finished campaign mode. Congratulations, Volzers. What number did you get on your British Bulldog? Zen says, I have no idea how it happened, but I'm glad the Axiom is in my hands. Indeed, Zen, it is sometimes better to be lucky than it is to have strategy. Volzer says, 556. Congratulations, you are the 556th person to complete this season's campaign mode, and that is very, very cool, especially considering the amount of people that do play WWE Supercard. So that is very, very awesome. Volzer says, I wish it was 5555. That would be cool. That would be a cool number. As you can see there, my British Bulldog was 406. Volzer says, thank you, sir. You are very, very welcome, good sir. Also, if anyone is in the chat that hasn't subscribed yet, It is for the low, low price of free. It is free to do so. Clicking that little subscribe button makes a big old grand cat happy. And if you click the notification icons, that makes me even happier. If you're enjoying watching what you see, it would be very, very cool if you click that little subscribe button. Giuseppe says, I have 50,000 tokens. I already have Sami Zayn. Do you think I should wait for a diva? I think I'm at 99,000 tokens of the super coins, and I'm not sure what I'm waiting for. I've already made the pro Sami Zayn. I've already made the pro Solo Sikoa, and I'm really just waiting to see what shows up. I think the next cards we're going to get are going to be Clash in Paris cards, so it'll be very interesting to see what cards they release from them. Oh, so let's just go ahead and I think we can just dust all of these. I don't think there's anything there that we want to keep. Yep, that's fine. Isaac replies to the message. I don't know what it was he said. Oh my goodness, I missed it. Takuto says, my favourite is WrestleMania 36 and 37. Siobhan White says, chat, my birthday is in 10 days. Well, Siobhan, I might not be live streaming in 10 days, but I can say happy birthday to you right now. So I hope you have a wonderful and very, very happy birthday. I hope it's filled with great memories, and that you have a wonderful time, and that you have some delicious cake and some wonderful little presents. But most importantly, I hope you share it with people whom you love, whether they be friends or whether they be family or whether they be anywhere in between. Isaac says, I just finished campaign on my alt. My goodness. Siobhan White says, thank you, Zagrandcat. Thank you. I appreciate you thanking me. I have never understood people that have alt accounts. It just seems like you're doing double the work for some reason. But to complete campaign on 2 different accounts seems absolutely crazy. It says mine was 401. Oh, that's pretty incredible. Zen says at 196 for SummerSlam Rocks, he still needs SummerSlam 17 Jimmy, SummerSlam 17 Miz, SummerSlam 19 Finn, and SummerSlam 20 Sheamus. Well, a few of those Mizes you'll be able to get from the next event, which is Walk the Ropes. They'll be coming out on Wednesday. Vampire says, alt account, gift myself Battle Pass. I mean, I guess that's technically cheaper than buying it for yourself, but okay. Again, I have never understood the purpose of having an alt account. Christopher Burnett says, I had 100,000 super coins, so I got an F3 solo, 100,000 for all stats. Ah, very cool. Larry Mert says, what is the best Becky image? Well, in my opinion, and I may not be correct here, but in my opinion, I think it's the limited edition Becky Lynch, which was one of the previous campaign rewards, because she's in the middle of doing a punch, but the image itself just looks very, very sharp and very, very clean. Vampire548 says, oh, I don't do it for the game, I do it just for the cheaper battle pass. I mean, you could also do the same thing if you have a friend that you trust, and you could buy each other a battle pass. I also think it's weird that you can gift Battle Pass for cheaper than it costs to buy Battle Pass. Not sure what cat daddy were thinking with that, but it seems to have kept going, and it doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon, so I guess that's what we're doing. Siobhan White says, Vampire smart. Vampire says, I'd much rather them buy me a pizza instead. Ali says the best image for Becky is the ultimate portrait one. Ah, yes, the all art portrait pack. Balin says, hello, it's Balin. Hello, Balin. It's very nice to meet you. Thank you for coming along to my little live stream. I'm just playing the last hour of PCC. It's also nice to hang out and chat with everyone in my Grand Cat Grand Fleet. And if there's any newcomers here and you want to join my Grand Cat Grand Fleet, you can join for the low price of free by merely clicking that subscribe button. Larry Mertz says, I like the beach card Becky image. Yes, I think that was one of the summer ones. I think I know the one you're talking about. I think there was a Matt Riddle version. Or no, wait, was the Becky Lynch one the one where there's the food flying in the background? Like the hot dogs and things? Oh, now I'm not sure. No. There definitely was a beach one for Becky Lynch, I'm sure. Yeah. Balin says, I got number 4,473 of the unhinged foil Becky. Wow, that's really cool. For a second there, I was trying to work out what unhinged foil meant, and then I remembered that you can pull the foil cards off of the rare draft picks. I haven't pulled one yet, so that's really, really cool to hear that you got one. Ali says the WrestleMania 34 summer one. I think I have that image. I would need to check. Ali says Becky, he means. Yes, indeed. Giuseppe says, I wanted to ask if I could join your team just for the road to glory. Now, I don't have a team, and I'm waiting for my Italian team to free up a place, if you can. Well, we don't necessarily just allow people to come in for one event, but if you do want to join my team, all you have to do, and this is for everyone out there, if you want to join my team, all you have to do is click the link in the description of this video. It will take you to my Discord server. Once you get into my Discord server, you just say, hi, I'm a fan of Grand Cat and I would like to join your team. And someone will direct you as to how to get to the waiting joint part. And then someone from there will get you into the Grand Cat NXT. Balin says, I've been waiting to join for 5 months. Really? We've got 3 spaces right now. You can join immediately. Just say, I would like to join the team. We do have, I think, 550 odd people in the Discord server. So, Balin says, I did that twice. Sometimes twice is not enough. You need to wait for the right people to be on. It is any of the moderators that are in charge of the Grand Cat NXT. They will get you in. Vampire says, I've been helping Alex out of your team with his campaign this past week. Ah, very cool. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Vampire. Larry Mertz says, I think they should have a 2 belts Becky image. That would be awesome. Becky 2 belts. That would be incredible. That would be very, very cool to see that, actually. That's a huge shout, Larry Mertz. Balin says, do you know Peyton Frost? I don't believe I do. Is Peyton Frost... Peyton. Is that one of the Iconics? Peyton... something? Vampire is another YouTuber. Oh, okay. Well, there certainly is enough of us out there. But no, I can't say I'm familiar with Peyton Frost. I am familiar with JB. It is Super Oh My God Barbecue. We are friends on Discord. He's a very, very nice person. I appreciate him. He's very, very cool. He took the time to come and talk to me. Zen says that's Peyton Royce. Peyton Royce is who I'm thinking of. That is the one from Iconics. Iconics! Now, Balin has said something very interesting there, and I'm going to address that in just a second. I'm just going to clear these up. So let's go ahead and do that, and that one. And let's go ahead and dust. Balin says, I tried to make Supercard videos, but I unlisted them because I got bullied for it. That is very, very disgusting to hear, that you were trying to make something, that you were trying to create some content, and that people have, for whatever reason, decided to be very negative towards you. It is not cool. It is absolutely disgusting behavior, and I do not appreciate any form of bullying whatsoever, especially when someone is trying to do something nice. I made a video. It's called This is a Video for You, and I think it was the kind of thing that you would like to see, Balin. But yeah, no, that is absolutely horrible, and I feel extremely sorry that you were bullied for them. My advice for anyone dealing with anyone that's a bully is, first of all, if you can ignore them, if they are just someone online and they're not someone that you physically know, just go ahead and block them, remove them, remove that negativity from your life. You do not need it. You don't have to put up with it. They think that you do. You don't. Just be done with them. Draw a line under them. Just say, nope, that person is no longer going to be part of my life. So, no, I would not put up with that. Absolutely not. Big old Grandcat has had many people try and take shots at me. People don't like when you are trying to put yourself out there, you're trying to succeed. Some people take offense to that, and it's really not right, and it's really, really uncool, especially if it's towards someone that is not used to handling criticism. So I really do feel for you, and I really hope that you do what it is you want to do, and don't let people put you off of doing what you enjoy doing. Let's see here. Blacklight says Peyton is actually a W Supercard YouTuber that mostly uses clickbait videos. It's not something that I've done. At least it's not something that I try and do. I very deliberately try and make my content as honest as possible. Whenever I am giving anything away, whether it be a free code or whatever, I try and do it right at the beginning of the video. It's not what everyone does. A lot of people like to draw a video, or they like to repeat codes that they've done before. That's not what I do. But I understand that there are people out there that are just trying to make their own little corner of YouTube. So, I mean, that's what he wants to do. That's what he does. But first of all, I don't know who he is, and I don't know anything about him. So I'm just going off the information that you guys are giving me. But all I can say is that is not something that Big Old Grandcat does. Zen says this, pointing to the comment that Blacklight said. Tiger says, yeah, he makes very many videos like that. Ali says, do you have any Daniel Bryan with title images from WrestleMania Season 1, the Intercontinental title one? I actually missed out on that one. I was on holiday when that event was going on. And yeah, that is one of the cards that I was missing out on. on that particular fortnight. Balin says, that's why I haven't posted in 5 months. Well, you should never, no one should ever be in a position to make you feel like you shouldn't be allowed to do what it is that you enjoy doing simply because you're getting bullied. That is atrocious. Takto says, actually all. Christopher Burnett says, are you collabing with Supercard like JB? No, I don't have any interaction with any of the staff of Supercard or anything. I am literally just a big old grand cat on the internet that enjoys playing W Supercard. So, and literally, I am exactly the same as every single one of you. Balin says, I quit making videos because of bullies. Again, I feel very, very sad about that. I don't think you should. But I do understand that if people are giving you a hard time, that it can be easy to walk away from something. And it's a real shame. And I don't like to see it happen. Vampire says, unfortunately, you can get a lot of that in Discord server, as Grandcat knows. Indeed, you do. Blacklight says, do you remember that time where this game had an update and it accidentally allowed the debug menu, which allowed a lot of people to change the card image? I remember that time. I wasn't a part of it. I didn't get the opportunity to do that. But I remember people changing their profile pictures to cards like chairs and to Paul Heyman and things. So that was absolutely ridiculous. I do remember that time indeed. We have 51 Grand Cat Grand Fleet members in the stream right now. So a big, huge shout out to every single one of you that decided to come along to watch Big Ol' Grand Cat playing PCC. Thank you very much to every single one of you. Zen says, I've dropped to 7,900, but that's fine. At 7,900, you will still absolutely get that PCC Becky Lynch. Tacto says, Grand Cat. Balin says, been subbed for 5 months. Wow, thank you, Balin. I appreciate that. Larry Mertz says, Charlotte Flair had a championship image. Did she? Ghost Tarot Reader says, hello. Hello, Ghost Tarot Reader. Ali says, yes, I do. The Gobbledygooker one support image and the Nightmare one. I remember people having that. I think the funniest one of all was people having the chair as their profile picture because it was just a chair. It was ridiculous. Ghost Tarot Reader says, how are you? I am good. I am quite happy. We've got a lot of members of the Grand Cat Grand Fleet in the live stream today. We're in the last 11 minutes and 50 seconds of PCC. So everything is all very, very good here. Larry Mertz says it was a legendary Season 2 image pick. Carlos says, hi, I'm at 5,300 playing on cell phone and watching your live on TV. That's very cool. You know, that's actually very similar to what I'm doing. I'm actually playing on my phone right now, and I am watching my laptop for the chat, the live chat. Ali says, Charlotte Flair title image Diva title Survivor Series Season 1 PCC event. I wonder if I got that. I don't know. I know I've got Paige with the Divas title. I've got Sasha Banks with the NXT title and Sasha Banks with the Women's Raw title. I've got Alexa Bliss with the SmackDown title. I don't remember a Charlotte Flair with the title though. So maybe that's something I missed out on. Blacklight says currently on 8.2 thousand from 14,000. Wow, you have managed to grind your way up. That's a hell of a grind, Blacklight. Congratulations. Ghost Tarot Reader says, your thought on the upcoming Raw tonight? Naomi, do you think she's pregnant? Well, I can't comment one way or another on what I think. That is I have heard the rumors. Do I think it's true or not? I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see what is going on. I think I'm suspicious of things, particularly with when they did the Seth Rollins injury angle and he wasn't actually injured, and the whole thing was just to swerve the audience. And with Karrion Kross, is he actually fired, or is this just a work? And is Naomi actually pregnant, or is that just a work? There's so many things in WWE right now that once they lie about one thing, it's very difficult to take anything they say as truth. And also, I think it's maybe just speculation that Naomi's pregnant so far. I don't think Naomi's actually came out and said anything. So until that happens, I think we should maybe take it with a bit of a grain of salt. But I mean, it could be true, and it could very well just be that that is what it is. So it'll be interesting. Balin says, Zah, do you have Becky with the Women's Championship title? I don't think there is a Becky with the Women's title. Does anyone know if Becky Lynch has a championship image? I don't think there is one. If there is, I don't think I have one. Larry Merritt says, I'm at rank 9,500. Just keep playing and you'll get into that top 10,000. You'll get that reward. Ali says, bro, Bray Wyatt's Money in the Bank Ultimate 1. Very rare image, I think. I wonder if I have that. I'm not sure. Ghost Tarot Reader says, did you watch AAA pay-per-view? And did you enjoy it? I haven't watched the entire thing. And I'm going to give a spoiler here because I watched the final match and I am about to give my opinion on it. So if you want to watch the main event of Triple Mania, and if you haven't watched it yet, then close your ears for the next minute as I'm about to talk about the main event and what happened at Triple Mania. I'll give you just a little bit of time. So Balin says Women's Raw title and Zen says Money in the Bank, I think. That's really weird. I'm not aware of any Becky Lynch with a championship, so I'll need to look up that. But, okay, the main event of Triple Mania. It was the Fatal 4-Way. It was Vikingo, who is the current champion, against Dominic Mysterio, against El Grande Americano, and it was against Dragon Lee. Now, a lot of the fans seem to be against Vikingo, and I personally really wanted Dominic Mysterio to win. And I thought it was a really, really good match until the finish. Because what the finish was is AJ Styles came out, as Balin says, AJ Styles came out and screwed Dirty Dom. Ali says Becky doesn't have any title image. Okay. And the reason that AJ Styles came out and screwed over Dirty Dominic Mysterio is to further their storyline for the Intercontinental Championship. And to put that in perspective, if you can imagine that at WrestleMania 19 or WrestleMania 17, the main event is Stone Cold and The Rock, but Road Dogg comes out and interferes in the match. And it sets up for Stone Cold versus Road Dogg for the Intercontinental Championship at the next pay-per-view. People would be furious. Balin says, how many minutes left for PCC? About 6 minutes. Less than 6 minutes, actually. About 5.5 at this point. But I really didn't appreciate the finish. I think it would have been much better if Vikingo just won clean, or if AJ Styles interfered halfway through the match and then the match continued. That would have also been good. But the fact that the finish was... Blacklight says, don't frustrate yourself. It's like the main event of WrestleMania 27. I didn't think it was very good. I mean, considering that this was the first AAA Triple Mania owned by WWE, and they used it to further the Intercontinental title in a rematch between Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles that I don't think anyone asked for and that anyone was interested in. I feel like there was better ways that they could have went. So I thought it was a really good pay-per-view with a really bad finish. Blacklight says Vikingo is like Roman Reigns in 2015. I think you are correct, Blacklight. Zen says the fans were against Vikingo due to that bad person named Del Rio, Alberto de Petronas. I'll be honest, I was not really following AAA before WWE picked up AAA, so there's an awful lot that I don't know about. The big old grandcat really doesn't have any position to be talking about things, but I don't think it was very good that they used the main event to further a mid-card championship match between Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles. I think that's pretty bad of them. Like, if I was Vikingo, I would feel disrespected. But I don't know, maybe Vikingo was for it. Maybe he was like, okay, you know, I'm getting a major push on television. I just think it would have been better. I think it could have been better. Ali said, Emma, Summerslam 17 image throwback is the rarest image in the game. Is it? I wonder if I've got that. I'll need to check, and I'll check in just over 3 minutes because we've got 3 minutes and 13 seconds left of this game of PCC. So let's just keep playing. We've been playing this long. We're going to take a break now. We've only got 3 more minutes to go, and then we'll get the reward. Larry Mertz says there's 3 minutes left in PCC. Zen says especially since it's the AAA's main title. I like the finish though. Well, that's good. I mean, if you enjoyed the finish, then that's good. Doesn't matter if big old Grandcat is being a big grumpy old beast. If you enjoyed it, that's what matters. Blacklight says, honestly, what I find hilarious is everything they did for Vikingo. They even had Rey Mysterio support him backstage, you know, before his stablemate, Dragon Lee. Yeah, that's a very good point. Dragon Lee was in the match. Dominic Mysterio, who's Rey Mysterio's son, was in the match. And Rey Mysterio backed Vikingo. Bayley says, you going to open it on stream? The Becky Lynch? Well, we'll see how long it takes, but yeah, possibly. Ghost Tarot Reader says, oh, Finn's puppet was funny. That was actually the best part of Triple Mania for me, if I'm honest. Loved that part when Omos picked up the Micro Man. Yes. The smallest wrestler in WWE history at this point. Zen says, I do get your stance though. I appreciate that. Ali says, bro, you made a very good video. I love your channel. I'm a very old fan of you. Big love. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm only going to do a few of these because we're running out of time on PCC here. Okay, we've got just over a minute left. Blacklight says Demonito costs $100, by the way. Oh my goodness. I didn't know that they'd already made merchandise of him. Zen says Dom and Ray are still enemies, so it makes a bit of sense. That is true. Blacklight says, oh, I also went with Bayley by accident. That means that in less the next 30 seconds, Bayley makes a huge comeback. You probably aren't getting that 1,000 credits, unfortunately. And we're down to just under a minute now, I believe. Do we have enough time to get one more game in? Got 12 seconds. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then that's when someone should enter Royal Rumble. Ghost Tarot Reader says Jason Baker made the Finn doll. He made all the Bray Wyatt stuff, so I understand the price is high. That's cool. I didn't realize it was the same person that made the Bray Wyatt stuff, that did the Finn Balor Dominito, or Demon Ito. The event has now ended. Okay, we are done with PCC. Now, what is our current rank? The event closes in 5 hours and 59 minutes. We were ranked 2,660, so that is very, very awesome. Now, whether we get to keep that rank or not, the rank will keep changing and fluctuating over the next few minutes. We got 811 wins, no losses, 4,305 points. Very, very cool. Ali says, Braun Strowman, Ultimate Money in the Bank image. Do you have it? It's a very cool image. And Charlotte one looks amazing. Can we see if you have it? Volzers says, I love you, man. Very funny and cool. Thank you, Volzers. I do certainly appreciate that very, very much. Ghost Tarot Reader says, well done on PCC. Congratulations. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I lost the ability to speak for a second there. Aaron Morgan says, hi. Hello, Aaron. Larry Mertz says, I think Team Road to Glory is a mask event. Ah, okay, I'll take a look at that in a second. Zen says, I honestly wanted to do a Sol Ruka event. Wanted it since she won the belt. That would be awesome. Cryptic says, my rank was 928. I'm surprised Becky won. I thought that Becky would win because she's got a bigger storyline in WWE at the moment. She's the Women's Intercontinental Champion, and Bayley has been kind of playing third wheel to Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria's feud recently. Andrew Quilley says, a lot. Hello, Andrew Quilley. Thank you for coming to my live stream. Larry Mertz says, I have a little over 300 wins and getting card. Very cool. Congratulations. WNO says, hello, Grandcat. Hello, WNO. Zen says, normally the most popular person wins. So I get it. Yes, generally, what you need to think of is a lot of people said that they wanted Bayley to win because Bayley is a left arrow and Zelina Vega is a right arrow, so those two would tag together. But what you have to think of is not what the higher ranked pro players are going to go for. It's what the majority of people are going to play for, and whatever is the most popular overall by the masses is generally the one that will win. So that's why I went with Becky Lynch. Also, because I've already completed campaign mode and that's really what I wanted the Bayley for. So it's very, very cool to get the Becky Lynch in the end there. Let's go ahead and back out of this then. And let's see. Aaron says, I missed a whole day of PCC, so I only finished around 7.6 thousand. Should be my best female card still, though. Yes, very cool. However, if you want an even better female card, I recommend collecting the Mega Collection, because the Zelina Vega is currently the best card in the game. Ghost Tarot Reader says, who is your favourite wrestler of all time? It has to be the Cerebral Assassin, the King of Kings. I am, of course, referring to Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H, because that dude has been at the top of the business for so long. He was largely a heel, and people said that he ruined a lot of careers by burying people, but then so did Mr. John Cena. But Triple H elevated stars by being such a tremendous heel to people like The Rock and Stone Cold to really bring them up to a higher level. And when Triple H was face, he was amazing. So Triple H is my favorite wrestler of all time. Cryptic says, I agree with the image though, so I'm happy with it. Bayley says, cool. Zen says, I prefer Bayley myself, but I picked Bex, big time Bex, because I want those coins in the card. Shavon White says, when are you ending the stream? Or are you ending the stream? I'm not going to end the stream just yet. I still have a bit of energy. There's still a bit of power in this old voice. So we'll keep going. We'll see if we can keep going long enough for the Becky Lynch rewards to come in. Balin says, I got my first event card. Siobhan White says, Balin, nice. Aaron says, yeah, I'm 3 off Selena. Hope to get her soon. Larry Mertz says, they should have a championship Triple H card. Oh my god, yes. I would absolutely love a championship Triple H. That would be really, really cool, actually. I would very, very much appreciate that. Aaron Morgan says, will you be watching Raw tonight? I will. I'm not sure if I'll be watching it live, but I will be watching it. Whether I watch it tomorrow morning or whether I watch it live, I'm not sure. Ghost Hannah Reader says, my favorite wrestler is in Stardom. She's called Saki Kashime. I've been a fan of her for 9 years. That's very, very cool. That's very, very awesome indeed. Runic Dolphin says, one off Zelina Vega and just got top 500 in PCC. Wow, top 500 is very cool. That is a lot of grinding that you have done there, good sir. Balin says, I'm watching it tonight. Ah, very cool. And of course, he's referring to Raw. How many do we have in this? We've got 30 of them. You know what? Now that we have finished with PCC and it looks like it's time for Team Road to Glory, let's see what the cards are in Team Road to Glory. Ah, I see. So someone in the chat did say that it's maybe the theme is mask. So of course we've got Dragon Lee in a mask. Papa Shango, who doesn't necessarily wear a mask but wears face paint. Finn Balor with the face paint on as well. Boogeyman with the face paint. Axiom, of course, wears a mask. Penta, of course, wears a mask. And, of course, Rey Fenix. It's actually very cool that you've got the brothers, Penta and Rey Fenix, right next to each other. So that's pretty cool as well. Aaron says, I think the signature card on Wednesday will be a modern-day superstar. I'm thinking maybe Jey Uso. That would be awesome. Zen says, I wanted H to put over Booker T so bad. Booker T should 100% have won that match. Let's get this right off the bat there. Everything about that storyline says that Booker T should have freaking won. And it was absolutely horrible the way that Triple H won. He did the pedigree to Booker T and he waited an additional something like 20 seconds before pinning him. And then the referee did the slow count and Triple H won. Horrible burying of Booker T there. Disgusting. So let me get back to that. I wanted H to put over Booker T so bad. He's okay though. My focus is geared to in-ring focus and promo work. So he isn't a top fave. Burnett says deck check. Leon says 190 of 290. I meant 200. Cryptic says, who did you get from the Superstore? I got Sami Zayn. I got both Sami Zayn and Solo Score. I made pros of both of them. Ali says, can we see the Ultimate Tier special image you have? Sure. What card is it we're looking for here? I'm not even sure what one it is. Let's go into the card catalog. And Ultimate Tier is what we're going to, is it? And now let's see here. Ultimate. Where is Ultimate? Guys, where's Ultimate? Oh, there it is. I see it. Okay. Right, okay, we're in Ultimate Tier. What are we looking for? Zen says, is the Lyra worth getting? What Lyra? I don't know. Cryptic says, nice, both images are good too. Ali, why are we looking at the Ultimate Tier special? What is it we're looking for here? Why are we in here? Backstage? No, that's Zen. Oh, the backstage Lyra. Okay. She could be. Okay, Ali says that Money in the Bank, Braun and Charlotte. Okay, let's see if we've got them. Well, there is the Braun Breaker, which we don't have. It was the Roadblock one, it seems. And the other one is Charlotte Flair, which... Is there a Charlotte Flair? I don't think there's a Charlotte Flair here. Also, did we lose music? Okay, we've still got sounds, but we don't have music anymore. What the hell? Uh, where are the females? Is there a settings or something here? Was there just like no females in Ultimate Tier? What is going on here? I'm really confused, guys. If anyone can help out, what is going on? Why? Okay, no, there we go. There's the females. There's Alexa Bliss and everything. Okay, what was that about? Why was there no females? So Charlotte Flair. No, it seems we don't have the roadblock Charlotte Flair. Okay. That was crazy. So Blacklight says go back and pick the filters. Well, it seems we didn't need to. Just they didn't load in for some reason, which is absolutely crazy. There's the Alexa Bliss with the title over her shoulder, which apparently I didn't get a pro of. Only got one. That's weird. Maybe in Ultimate Tier I still wasn't like playing properly. We never got this pro of Heath Slater either. I did get this Fastlane Kevin Owens, though. And this Neville. Big old Adrian Neville. I think I've still got that card, actually. In fact, actually, it might be the Season 1 Neville I've got. Is it Ultimate Tier Season 1? I can't remember. I remember getting this pro. Let's see here. Zen says Jordan Grace and Chelsea are my top women's cards, so I might get Lyra. Yeah, it could be good. Was there anything else that I was supposed to check here? I honestly cannot remember. I remember people asking me about things while I was in the middle of playing the PCC, but I've forgotten all of them. Blaulight says, man, I remember when I got the one card of the limited edition Undertaker, stayed up 3 days just to get the pro and didn't get him. I think with a limited edition card, you don't get a pro, you just get the one. That's how it works. Jamie Williams says, hi. Hello, Jamie Williams. Very nice to meet you. Okay, I'm not sure what it is we're in here for or what we're looking for, so I'm just going to come out of there. Let's go ahead and go to has equipment. Oh, it's Zelina Vega. There we go. That's that done. And what else are we trying to do here? Ali says Emma Summers. Oh, right, okay. See, this is what I need to be reminded of. Ali, you need to remind me of these things. Okay, go back into card catalog, shall we? Emma, SummerSlam 17 image, do you have it? Let's go ahead and go into SummerSlam 17. I knew that there was other things that people were asking for. SummerSlam 17 and Emma. Oh, no, we don't have it. Yeah. The throwback image of Emma and the throwback image of Edith. I think, if I remember correctly, these throwback images you had to pay actual money to get, and it was only a chance you had of pulling those cards. So I think that's why a lot of people didn't go for them, myself included. I do remember, however, having the Hacksaw Jim Duggan of the little special image ones. I'm going to look up actually. I think it's Hacksaw. Yeah, it was this one because I think that Hall of Fame card was a paid card, and I was lucky enough to get 2 of them, so I got the pro of them. But that's cool. Just wondering what that would do. Okay. Aaron says the rewards from PCC usually come about half an hour after the event. I think it can change. Balin says your mailbox says, yeah, the exclamation mark. Yeah, my mailbox almost always has that, unfortunately. I keep getting messages. Blacklight says the one from Ultimate. What one from Ultimate? We were looking at Ultimate earlier. Siobhan White says, Zen, what's your username? I might follow you. Zen says, literally Zen. Ali says, Daniel WrestleMania Season 1 event. Danielle? Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at WrestleMania Season 1. Oh, the Daniel Bryan card? Yes, no, I already mentioned I don't have that one. But what I do have is this here Pro of Triple H, and I have this Seth freaking Rollins with the championship over his shoulders. Very, very cool indeed. Let's see. Ghost Tarot Reader says, did you ever get the QR code images? Page Cena ones. I can't remember the tier though. I know exactly what you're talking about. No, we don't have GameStop here in the UK, so unfortunately I wasn't able to get any of those QR codes, but I do know the ones that you're talking about, the ones that you could actually pay money to get over the counter. Siobhan White says, whoa. Vladimir says, do you have event SummerSlam 17 Alexa Bliss? I believe I do. The event one was this one. I think that was the event card. I think that was the normal card, and of course there was the zombie Alexa Bliss as well. So yes, we've got all of them. Siobhan White says, I wasn't playing the game back at that point, but the design is sick. Tacto says, did you ever get the Undertaker LE card from backstage? No, I chose not to. I wasn't interested, if I'm completely honest. Blacklight says the ultimate LE Undertaker, where you had to scan QR codes. Ultimate Limited Edition Undertaker? Ultimate? For Undertaker? Was that this one? I always wondered what that was. Ah, so is that how you got it? Because I've got this one. We've got the throwback image, that one, and we've got the Royal Rumble one. But it must be the other one. Interesting. Ali says, and thank you for all this image, and now you're tired. Zen says, I think it means Daniel Bryan. Takuto says, exclamation mark. Zen says, I lost my old account, so I don't have any of my super cool old cards due to an old YouTube channel getting terminated, unfortunately. Ah, very unfortunate. I do have some sick newer cards, though. Ghost Tarot Reader says, which wrestler who doesn't have a card on game do you think should get one? Which wrestler who doesn't have a card on game? That's a hell of a question. I mean, there's so many different cards that people have out there. I'm trying to think of anyone. You know who'd be really cool? Owen Hart. However, it will never happen because Owen Hart's wife will not allow WWE to use any of his image or anything for any kind of merchandising ever since the tragedy that happened to Owen Hart at Over the Edge back in '99. So, and you know, good honor, but I think an Owen Hart image would have been really, really cool. I personally think that Owen Hart was actually better than Bret Hart, and I think he had a better. I think he had a better charisma about him. Like when he was on the microphone, he had a better personality. I mean, I think Bret was one of the best technical wrestlers of all time, but I think Owen Hart could have certainly had a chance of being up there. Let's see. Blacklight says, yeah, that one is the limited edition QR Undertaker. I didn't even know about that. Larry Mertz says, I think Jimmy Snuka should have a card. Does he not? I'm pretty sure that I have a Jimmy Snuka. Is there not? I have distinct memory of having a Jimmy Snooker card. Really? There's really? Wow. Huh. That's really weird. I'm certain that there was like season one, season two Jimmy Snooker cards. That's a Mandela effect right there because I could swear that I even know what the card looks like. That he's got his hands doing the little devil symbols, little Spider-Man hands, like out to the side. Wow. Okay, that's crazy. I thought that Jimmy Snooker had one. Wait, is it Superfly Jimmy Snooker? Is it maybe under S? That could be it. Superfly Jimmy Snooker. That's lies. I had that ultra rare season two. I absolutely did. I know for a fact that I had him. Oh, that is crazy. Yeah, so Jimmy Snooker did have an image. Um, Blacklight says Snooker had a card, but they got pulled from the game. Really? So I had this card and they removed it? That's crazy. I didn't know that. That's wow. Okay. I'm learning new stuff here today. Wow. That's crazy. Okay. Let's see. Ghost Harrier says, great choice. Shame we can't get one. Oh, there is a match at WrestleMania 10 was a classic. Yes, it was. Black says Snooker had a card, but he was pulled from the game. Zen says, got to respectfully disagree with that, but Owen is a top tier and should have been one of the best. AJ Lee says he was an ultra rare. Zen, you said that you respectfully disagree. I would like to know who you would have in place. Ali said, Wide Brat have event image, WrestleMania Season 1 event. And then we're going back to the card catalog here. We're talking about WrestleMania Season 1, Bret the Hitman Hart. He did have an event card, but I didn't get him. I think that was actually the first event card of WrestleMania Season 1. And I think it came out around winter as well. I know that I had the Sting from this season. No, actually, it was the season before that. It was Survivor that I had the Sting event card. There he is. There's the Sting event card, and there's the regular Sting. So that was a really, really cool thing. Jeffrey says, yo, Jeffrey. Hello, Jeffrey. Welcome to the stream. Ghost Harry says, oh, King Haku had a Hall of Fame card, but got taken out of the game due to the mistaken of him not being in the Hall of Fame. Really? I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Christopher Burnett says, do you have any AJ Lee? I do indeed have AJ Lee. In fact, I think the AJ Lee is currently in my card binder. Let's go to page 57. And if we just scroll back a bit here, we can see the AJ Lee card. They are in here somewhere. There is like some rhyme and reason to this. I just can't remember what it is. I think this is just where I started throwing cards that I hadn't actually placed anywhere. Where is that AJ Lee? I certainly have one. Let's see if we can scroll through it and find it together, shall we? This is a good time to actually just look at some old school cards. Probably a whole bunch of cards here that you guys have never seen. There she is. There's our AJ Lee. Yeah, so we do have AJ Lee. Thomas McCowan says, are you Scottish? I am indeed. I'm a big old Scottish grandcat. Takro says, bro, what? Bro. Bruh. Jeffrey says, I'm a season 3 Pete Dunne away from finishing Zelina Vega. My goodness, you are very, very close. Blacklight says, yeah, because of the whole trial, I believe. Can't say that on YouTube. Zen says, I meant disagreeing with Owen being better than Bret Hart. Ah, I see, I see. I think a lot of it is the potential of Owen Hart, is what I was saying, Zen. I think Owen had the potential to be a main eventer and didn't get the proper chance to be in that limelight because, of course, his career was unfortunately very tragically cut short. Larry Merritt says, I think there should be a Peacemaker image. That would be cool. However, like they would need to sign some kind of get something going with DC Comics and see what happens there. Brushing Bone says Hornswoggle doesn't have a card. No, I think W Supercard came out after Hornswoggle had been released. I don't think Hornswoggle's ever had one since. Ali says, like the Road Dogg Survivor 2 throwback was pulled from the game. That was crazy. Really? I am surprised to learn that there's all these cards that have been pulled from the game. I'm not even aware of these. Wow. Let's see here. Ali says, man, Sting PCC Survivor Series 1 versus Hulk Hogan was amazing. Siobhan White says, bruh, I was on here on this game a few years back. I just started playing this year. Balin says, been playing since 2015. I3 is the #1 player Fearless. I've seen this guy #1 for the past few weeks on events. Congrats to him, but couldn't imagine the grind for those cards. Wish I had that dedication. Thomas McCown says Fearless is a hacker. I don't know anything about that, so I think the chat's just talking to itself at this point. Latimer says, I think Junior should have a card. Junior? What, Rey Mysterio Jr.? Rey Mysterio Jr. has many cards. I3 says, he was #1 for a ton of event cards, even on his alt. I was just wondering. Siobhan White says, just pulled a third Razor Ramon. It's a Grand Cat. Congratulations, Siobhan White. Ghost Trader Taro says, did you ever collect WF Hasbro figures? I didn't collect the old original ones, but I did start collecting them when they became the point that I started collecting wrestling figures was, I think, back in 1999 when there was the bone breaking figures. That was what had just came out, where the figures had a kind of plastic body and a plastic head, but they had rubber arms and legs that had a little clicky feature in it to make it sound like you can break their arms and legs. That's what the whole feature was. And you also had the signature series where the signature of the wrestler was drawn on the leg of the things. Zen says Owen was a top tier wrestler and should have been, though, 1000%. Thomas McCowan says, do you have the Kevin Owens title image? Sure do. I have that title image. In fact, actually, I believe he's in my card binder somewhere. There we go. Perfect. Right there. With the the Universal Championship. Balin says, the Grand Cat, get your mailbox rewards. Oh my goodness. Siobhan says, my dad was around at that time and had those same figures. Well, that makes me feel ancient. Ghost Tarot Reader says, good luck on your PCC rewards. Hope you get the rewards you want. Ali says, what do you think of this event design? I think it's cool. I think it is, I mean, there it is there. That's what the event design looks like. It's certainly a unique image. It's very different from your regular SummerSlam 25 cards. So it's very cool to see. Lucas says, I placed 3058. Where did you come? Well, let's back out and we'll go back in. We'll see if that restarts the music somehow. Larry Merritt says, didn't Goldberg have a championship image? I don't believe so. I am not aware of any Goldberg championship image. Let's go into here and we've got our rewards. Okay, so this is the web pack. This is the one that's the 10% chance of pulling the Axiom. Let's go ahead and grab that. It's got 500 super coins, which puts us above our super coins. We've got 5 SummerSlam tokens, and we also got 2 Pro Crystals. We've also got our Daily Streak reward, which I believe is a Rarity Draft pick. And I'm going to leave that W Supercard reward for later. That is something for a future video. We've only got a 1 in 3 chance here. Okay, chat. I want you all to pick either 1, 2, or 3. This one here is number 1. This one here is number 2. This one here is number 3. Let's see if we can pull a SummerSlam 25 card all together now. Let's see. Ghost Our Reader says, "Oh, and on game, are you in a are you a team owner? Just wondering." I am. I am the team owner of Team Soul World Order. Christian Burnett says, "Do you have Ryback?" I've got loads of Rybacks. Tacto says, "Bruh." Who's your top 3 technical wrestlers of all time? Oh my god, that would be a hell of a question. It also depends on what you classify as technical. I mean, I'd have Shawn Michaels up there, but I mean, he's catch as cat can wrestling as opposed to technical. Thomas Gunn says Ryback title image. I think there was a title image for Ryback. I don't think I've got it. I think it was the Intercontinental title. I'm not sure. Balin says 2. Ghost Tower Rider says middle, which is number 2. Ali says, "Do you remember the Last Man event, Roman season 4? I think I've got that. Tacto says 1. Then 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2. Okay. Let's tally all these up. For number 1, we have 4 counts. For number 2, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it looks like we're going for the middle one then, guys. Unfortunately, we didn't get the card, but we did get a Becky Lynch. We got an unhinged Becky Lynch. That's very, very cool. And we've got 45 draft picks. I forgot about that. Oh, we can actually make the pro of this Becky Lynch. Okay, that's cool. Gives us another star as well. So that's nice. Tacto says fail, dude. Bruh. Tacto, why, please? Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, let's go ahead and claim our free bonus pack. And it gives us a 10% chance at pulling a Razor Ramon, the bad guy. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. And because it says that 36 in the bottom right corner, that means that we didn't pull him. So just skip right to the reward, shall we? And there we go. There's everything that we pulled from this pack, which is going to give us a tremendous amount of cards that we can use in SummerSlam Rocks. Let's go ahead and play the rest of these. We'll play Gauntlet, and this time we are going to play it for free because we've already got our Pro Razor Ramon ready to go. Aaron Morgan says, "Do you think Chad Gable should have a push, maybe for a mid-card title?" I think Chad Gable should have been going for the world title, but Sami Zayn usurped him and derailed his entire gimmick. But it's just what big old Grandcat thinks. Okay, I'm going to go for this pack here. It's -5 charisma, but it gives us a guaranteed pack. Let's go for the middle card. Okay, we've got a gold card. Cool. Okay, it's either 5 or -11 to speed. -11 speed, that sucks. So it's either -11 to toughness or -5 to charisma. We'll take that because we get the -11 to speed. It would eliminate us. That's all good. Let's go for the middle one. Oh my goodness, we need to get that -5 in charisma. We did. Okay, we're still in this. We can still keep going. Okay. Now, that middle one has a -21 in toughness or a pack. So it could give us the pack for free and not give us minus anything. I say we go for it. Ah, my goodness. And that's why you don't gamble, kids, because sometimes it just doesn't pay off. Let's go ahead and claim an exit there. We've got 2 packs, which is this one, which we didn't pull the Razor Ramon. We've got the second pack here, which we again didn't pull the Razor Ramon. And then, of course, we get the SummerSlam Season 7 Angelo Dawkins. Oh, Lucas says the PCC rewards are out. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Barnavor Joy says Sami Zayn straight up stole his storyline. He sure did. Ghost Tower Reader says, "Oh, the Chad Gable support we get at the end of the week. I'm excited for it." Thank you. Yes, it is very, very cool. Siobhan White says, Aaron Morgan, I think Jimmy Uso deserves a push, definitely. Chad has technically been getting a push due to El Grande Americano. The people love him. Zen says, I'm a young dude, but I do lots of research since I've been training and going to be a pro wrestler. Very cool, Zen. There's a woman named Mariko Yoshida. I love watching. Awesome technical wrestler. Very, very cool indeed. Siobhan White says, at Zen, can't wait to see you in WWE if you make it. That would be very, very cool indeed. And there we are. The People's Championship results have shown up. So let's go ahead and claim this. I'm going to go ahead and take the screenshot here. We got rank 2,658, which is very, very cool. We got personal points of 4,305. Let's go ahead and claim this. This is our rarity draft pick and our 1,000 credits, which is very, very cool, very generous for WWE Supercard. But also we have the People's Champion rewards, which I'm going to go ahead and screenshot that as well. We are ranked 2,658 with 4,305 points. And our reward is, of course, Big Time Beck's Becky Lynch. And there we go. We got the Becky Lynch event card with the Manhandle Slam. And at level 0, she has 35.41 thousand in power, 38.05 thousand in toughness, 40.19 thousand in speed, and 43.85 thousand in charisma, which is very, very cool. She is, of course, a left arrow as well, and that is going to be very, very strong. We're going to go ahead and grab that. So we've now got our rarity draft pick. We now need to decide either left or right. This is going to be number 1. This is going to be number 2. On you go, chat. Let's see who it is that you are going to choose. Are you going to choose number 1 or are you going to choose number 2? Balin says number 1. Do we have anyone else that either agrees or disagrees? Or are we just going to go with Balin? Is he the only one that's going to say anything? Could very well be. Tacto says agrees with 1. Balin says number 1 again. Siobhan White says 1. Ali's the only one that says 2 so far. Thomas McGowan says 1. Ghost Trader says, what's your favourite tier in the research card? And also number 1. I think we are going for number 1 then, chat. Oh, we've got a Summerslam 25 card. And it is going to be... It is Braun Breaker. It is, of course, the badass, as he was. Siobhan White saying CCC, woof woof woof, the dog. Actually, I think we can go ahead and just make that into a fortified. Let's change this to combinable for SummerSlam 25. And there we go, yeah. It's going to be a fortified 1, I believe, for Big Braun. And there we are. Braun Breaker's pointing out to every single one of the Grand Cat Grand Fleet out there, and he is saying thank you for picking him and not going for that right arrow instead. Can we fortify this? Wow, we can. Should have done that ages ago. Do I have anyone else that I can fortify that I've just forgotten to do so? No, I think that was it. Okay, we're good after that. But yes, there we go. Very, very cool. I need to work on getting those Pro Razor Ramones as well. And now, who do we have that's trainable? We should go ahead and train up our Becky Lynch as well. We have a whole bunch of Becky Lynch images. Wow, that doesn't look very good. What other ones do we have? No, that doesn't look very good either. Yes, Steam Maiden Becky Lynch. Could have black and white Becky Lynch. Could have zombie Becky Lynch. I think despite everything, we're probably going to go with this image. I do genuinely think that that's probably her best image. Morticolo says hi. Larry Mercer says, what about the day one Beck? Yeah, the big time Becks one. Ali Medj says season 4 event will go. Is the season 4 event this one? I know that was an event card. I can't remember if that was season 4 or not. I remember I always used to like this one, where she's in the full wrestling outfit and she has the very cool look and the hair swept. This is also a really cool one. I think this is the first time that she wore the man outfit as well. Yeah, that's the day one Becky Lynch. Big time Bex. That was her during her big time Bex gimmick. But yes, no, I think the one that I am going to go with is still actually see both of these images. They're both pretty cool as well. And the other one that was right beside that, the Elimination Chamber one. Also very cool images for Becky Lynch. But I'm still, I think, going to go for the limited edition Becky Lynch. I think that was when she brought her book out. I think that's what that outfit was. This is a really cool image as well, actually, for Becky Lynch. It does, it really looks pretty awesome. That's also a really nice image, the WrestleMania one. But this is a really, really cool image. The limited edition Becky Lynch, where she's in mid-punch. I think I'm going to keep with this one, the base image, just for just now. So what we're going to do here is we're going to level up our Becky Lynch. Going to level her up to level 100. And then see how we get on from there. Is there any of these we need to keep? I don't think so. We still need to do one more. And there we go, okay. So Becky Lynch is now at level 100, and let's take a quick look at our Becky Lynch. So there she is. So at level 100, she has 70.81 thousand in power, 76.11 in toughness, 80.39 in speed, and 87.70 in charisma. Very, very cool. Balin says, nice. Mortiglo says, sorry for not being on your streams, but I have limited data. Well, don't worry, if you have limited data, you don't need to be part of the stream. And, I mean, I appreciate any time that anyone watches my things, so don't ever feel like you need to apologise for missing anything. I do always appreciate having my members of the Grand Cat Grand Fleet here. Ali says, could bracket 1. I'm not sure what that means. Siobhan White says, Zen, I searched you up on Supercard and can't find you. Ghost Harry says, do you like Becky's new theme music? I think it's awesome. I think it's really good, actually. Thomas McGowan says, defo the campaign image. Well, the issue is with our female left arrows. See, I've already got another Becky Lynch here that's using that image. So if I use the same image in both of them, it's going to look very repetitive. But if I've got different images for them, then they look cool. So I think I'm going to stick with different images. Alex says the Codebreaker one will go. Blacklight says, so I got Becky when I was supposed to get Bayley. No, the way that it works is everyone in PCC gets the same reward. So whoever wins is the card that everyone gets. Unfortunately, it's not possible to get Bayley if Becky Lynch is the one that won. Everyone gets Becky. Zen says, odd, no idea why you couldn't find me. Balin says, it's the one with the Summerslam 25 logo. Zen and Siobhan are both trying to find each other. Lorimer says, does Becky have an equipment? Not that I'm aware of. I don't think Becky has any exclusive equipment. Blacklight says, oh, gotcha. Okay. Ghost Tarot Reader says, it's okay, Siobhan, everyone is entitled to their own thoughts. Oh, I wonder what that was about. Oh, Siobhan says, not going to lie, but Becky's new theme is trash. I think it's one of those things that it'll probably, like, the more that you hear it, the more that you will begin to like it. I know that it's really, really, it's really hard to get over because our last music was so good. You know, the oh, oh, yes. But I was the same when I first heard Logan Paul's new music after the previous one. That I really liked the one that was the the na 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 na. Whoa, ah, 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 whoa, yeah, 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 whoa, yeah, 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 whoa. I really liked that theme, but and I really, really hated Humble when I first heard it, but now I think Humble was maybe one of the best heel theme songs in all of wrestling history. It is absolutely despicable. He is he's such a good heel. It's so easy to hate him, and he's so talented. Oh my God, Logan Paul is amazing. The amount of heat that that guy can generate, for all the wrong reasons. Oh my goodness. Zane says I can't stand Humble. But how can he be so good looking and still humble? How can I do all this and still be humble? How can I be so damn rich and still humble? Still humble. Bloodlines blessed. Family crest. Jewels and something around my neck. Hit him with the hit him with the flex. It's so good. It's so good because it is so bad. That's what makes it amazing. Is the fact that he's like so egotistical in his theme song. I'm the most humble, that's why I'm bragging. It's so good. Ah, it's wonderful. Okay, let's see. Vladimir says, I like Becky's new theme. See, when Becky Lynch came out with a new theme at SummerSlam, I was like, oh my God, she's going to win. Like, there's no way she's losing after coming out with a new theme and everything. Balin says Siobhan is the one with the Roman image. Siobhan says yes. Okay, it looks like Balin and Siobhan are finally able to find each other. Thank goodness for that. Zen says, I love the artist that made it though. Gotta love that guy's music. Okay, what else are we doing? We've done the gauntlet. Let's do Blockbuster next, shall we? I'm not sure how much longer I am planning on streaming, but I am glad that you guys are all having a lot of fun here. We're going to do Blockbuster. We're going to do Lights Out. I'll maybe do a little bit of Team Road to Glory, but Big Old Grand Cat has been streaming for a little while now, so we might be going for a snooze at some point. Let's do something like this. Dang. We didn't find... Okay, we found a title space. Okay. That's fine. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and claim an exit there. It looks like we didn't get anything of any great interest there. But we still have lights out, so let's go ahead and try this and see if we can pull a random JC Jane. Yes, I know how it works, thank you. We are just literally choosing 25 random cards here. And seeing if we can get any lines. Is this actually just bingo? I hadn't thought about that until just now. I'm not convinced I've ever played bingo in my entire life, but I presume that that's probably exactly what it's like. And we didn't pull anything of any great interest there in that one either. Do we have anything else of any great interest? I don't think we do. Okay, I think we have done almost everything. We're still in the middle of playing Team Battleground as well. Let's go ahead and jump into Team Road Glory. Actually, I better make sure that my deck is all the way up to maximum. Yeah, I think that's all my strongest cards. I don't think anything's going to be better than that. It looks like Big Bossman's strongest card is also Becky Lynch. No, it's not. Is he trying to train up his cards? What the hell, Bossman? That's against the rules. Oh, very rude. Someone's going to have to call him up on that one. It'll probably have to be me. But if someone else wants to do it, by all means. Ah, right, of course. We need to get rid of some cards before we're allowed to continue playing. Let's do rocks then, shall we? No, we have to go to the superstore first. We've got so many things we need to do. Okay, so we're trying to hopefully pull some of these backlash cards, because those would be the best. No, we got the Bianca Belair Elimination Chamber again. You know what, I'm just going to go ahead and open another one. And a Halloween Havoc Tony D'Angelo. Okay, we didn't need that one. Okay, the reason I did that was because we can go into rocks and we can do this without having to worry about going over our super coin limit once again. Siobhan says the case grabs are scams, the Grand Cat. I think you may be right. Let's continue reading the chat, shall we? Ghost Tarot Reader says the higher power segment with Vince always gets shown. That's a stick in the head moment. Balin says got another Ray Pro. Ah, very cool. Very well done. Siobhan says lights out is so annoying. I always end up just randomly spamming and mess up. I managed to get my brother JC on his account though. I'm glad to see that someone was able to pull the JC Jane from the event, because I haven't been able to so far. James Talks Man City says I got my first ever ranked event card, Becky Lynch, Summerslam 25, rank 2607. Very cool. Congratulations, good sir. Ghost Tarot Reader says, what is your Team Road to Glory requirements? I believe it is 150 points that you need to get. However, if you are captain rank or higher, then you only need to get 75 points. because it is halved so long as you get the event card or the heroic of the event from the set before. So for myself, I only need to get 75 because I got in the top 10,000. I got that Becky Lynch. And also, if you want to get a promotion, you need to get double the points. So instead of 150 points, it's 300. And that will rank you up from member to lieutenant, and then from lieutenant up to captain, and then you can start getting the captain awards. So everyone in my team all worked hard to get the position that they're in. No one got given the position just because they were favoured, and I think that's a really good way of running a team. Ghost Trader says, wow, 150, that's nice and easy, love that. It's really, really good when you've got an active team, like when the entire team is active, like you can easily set something like that up. But I have in the past been in teams that were not as active as the team that I made, and I do know how difficult it can be when you're like the only active person in your entire team and you're trying to work towards something. Oh my goodness, we're already at over 10,000. Let's go ahead and get another case grab, shall we? Why did all that come up at the top? That's weird. I didn't even click anything up there. Dagsy Malone says, yes, Grand Cat, how are we? I am good. Siobhan White says, scammed once again. Well, so long as there's a chance of pulling the cards that I don't have, I am going to go ahead and take it. Because it's better than spending 4,000 to get a chance at a random Summerslam 25 card. That is how I feel about it anyway. Daxi, I'm doing very, very well. Been streaming for just over 2 hours now at this point. Ghost Tarot Reader says, yes, me and my partner. Problem before, this is why we are not on a team, just together. That makes sense. Jones says, I just got Becky, but I chose Bayley. That is how it works. Everyone that got the top 10,000 is going to get a Becky Lynch because she's the one that won PCC. That is just how it works. Siobhan White says, true. Dagsy Malone says, good, that's awesome. Did you get your event Becky card? I did indeed. Ghost Tarot Reader says, had that. I did indeed get the Becky Lynch card. We've leveled her up to level 100, but we haven't got her 100 games just yet. So I think after we do these rocks, the SummerSlam rocks, I am thinking about finishing up the stream. Bill Grandcat is a little bit tired. Siobhan White says, I'm so tired of SummerSlam rocks, not going to lie. It certainly has been a long event, I will say. Although I'm still quite enjoying it. Ghost Horror Reader says, question, do you believe in ghosts? Just wondering. Depends on your definition of ghosts. Do I think there's, ooh, spooky, scary, haunted things? No. Do I believe in an afterlife? Absolutely. I think it would be a tremendous waste if this is all there is to life. But do I think that there is like ghosts from like Victorian ages that are going around as poltergeists haunting people? No, not really. Ghost Harry says, thank you, your thoughts are appreciated. Alex says, next week it will be new card with title on the... Oh, on Walk the Ropes. That's what you're saying, yes. Yes, that'll be very interesting to see what card it does. I do very much enjoy my title images. Siobhan White says, can someone tell me why I was so excited for Unhinged Rarity, but it was not the best? I was originally very excited about Unhinged Rarity, but WWE Supercard made a tremendous amount of mistakes with it. It was just mistake after mistake after mistake. There was the pack that only a select few amount of people managed to abuse, and got a tremendous amount of rewards from it, which was not very cool. And W Supercard could have 100% handled that a lot better, either given everyone the rewards or taking them away from everyone so that everyone had a fair playing field, and they did not. So I was none too happy about that. But by the end of the tier, it kind of fixed itself despite everything. And I thought in the end it was a good tier. I think it had a lot of the right ideas, and some of the images were really, really cool. I really appreciated, especially the Titan and Titans cards. I thought those were really, really awesome. But I think the beginning of the tier was a bit of a mess. I have really, really loved Summerslam 25 tier though. This is really, really cool because if nothing else, more than anything, I really, really like these title images that we're getting a tremendous amount of, which is a very, very cool. Um, Zen says, I 100% believe in spirits. I don't believe all of them are out to hunt. I personally think that, I mean, once I pass on, which will be a long, long time from now, that I'm not intending to stick around Earth and haunt the poor people that are still around here. I'm going to be off doing all sorts of kind of things in the afterlife. So I mean, I think you would really have to have nothing better to do for the rest of eternity to be a spirit that's trying to haunt things. So I don't think that there is many, if even any, of those. Let's see what else. E-Dub says it's so annoying that it keeps hitting zero. I'm not sure what it is that it keeps hitting zero, but it sounds like it's very, very annoying for you. I apologize, Lane Jones. I'm just taking care of something. Something vaguely irritating, my goodness. I'll deal with it later. Dagze says, so annoying, I still haven't got my Razor card yet. Need the luck. Ghost Tower Reader says, unhinged tier really went on too long. Shavon White says, why can't they make a Cody Rhodes signature card? That would be fire. That'd be very, very cool. Dagzy Malone says, I'm jealous you have the title Live Image. I hope they bring it back so I have a chance to get it. It's really, really cool. It was from the Liv Morgan Battle Pass, is how you get it. Siobhan White says, the Grand Cat, he is talking about SummerSlam Rocks for your information. I'm not sure who is talking about SummerSlam Rocks, but congrats. I didn't know how to finish that sentence. Let's go ahead and see, what do we need to do here? Let's go to Combinable. Not left arrows, all. And do we have anything in here that we can Pro. Only a Rey Mysterio. That's not very helpful. Do you have anything in here that I want to pro? No. So in that case, let's just go to trainable. And we're going to dust some cards now because we've got a tremendous amount of them. We've got way too many cards here that we do not need. So we're just going to dust a whole bunch of these. They'll give us another rare draft pick. This one I am just going to try at random. I'm just going to go for this one. And we've got WrestleMania 41 American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Next up, let's go and get rid of some of these cards. I'll just take a quick look here and see if there's any that I want to keep. But I don't believe there is. Siobhan White says, "Whoa! My father said when I was younger, hard times make better men. Better man! You took it all away, I give it all away." Yes, Kingdom is a fantastic song. That's weird. Okay, good. So we have made ourselves the Becky Lynch. Team Road to Glory is underway, and let's play one quick game of Glory here. Siobhan White says Raw is going to be boring tonight. I can just tell. Oh, someone has a rank 772 Becky Lynch. Did my team just collectively decide to start just putting Becky Lynches in their team to try and train them? This is very, very rude of them. But if everyone else is doing it, I might do the same. I think that might be my Zelina Vega. Ghost Tarot Reader says, "Get ready for Raw's main event to end in a DQ." I think Ghost Tarot Reader might be onto something. I've certainly seen a lot of Raw main events end in DQs recently. Siobhan White says, "For real." I could absolutely see that happening. It's atrocious, to say the least. Well, there we go. We've got a perfect game. We have finished up Team Road to Glory. We've got 54 picks. Oh, we can go ahead and dust that Cody Rhodes as well. Larry Merritt says, "Who do you think is the best wrestler from the Attitude Era?" Triple H. Although my favourite back in the day was, big old Stone Cold, son. That's big old Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'll tell you what. Ghost Tarot Reader says it's like copy and paste each week from Raw's main event. Siobhan White says, "I might say Jeff Hardy." I suppose Jeff Hardy was part of the Attitude Era, if you squint. He was certainly in the tag team division for that period. Yeah. Okay, I can see that. Um, James says, I need AJ Styles Summerslam 16 card for the Zelina Vega. Sean White says, Ghost Trader for real. Zen says, haven't been watching the weekly shows besides NXT. Just haven't been interested. I've been watching pay-per-views NXT and AEW. AEW is doing fantastic right now. It went through a very, very bad period where it was very, very boring, but it has came out the other side smelling like roses, and I can honestly say, thank goodness that John Moxley dropped the title, because God, that Death Rider storyline went on for far too long. Larry Mertz says, I think the Power Trip was a good tag team. Yes, the two-man Power Trip. That was, of course, big old Stone Cold Steve Austin and the game Triple H. As they were tag team champions. Stone Cold Steve Austin was the world champion. Triple H was the Intercontinental champion, and they held all the gold. They were the two-man Power Trip. Very, very cool indeed. Siobhan White says, Zen, I haven't watched AEW since like 2024, not going to lie. You're right to do so, because in 2024 it started becoming bad, but it has recently picked up quite a bit, and I would certainly recommend maybe not the weekly shows, because sometimes the weekly shows can be hit or miss, but I would certainly recommend next time there's an AEW pay-per-view to give it a try, give it a check out, and see if you like what's going on with it, because they can do some amazing, amazing matches and some very, very cool storylines when they have the right time. Ghost Taro Reed says, the Scottish Triple H, gotta love it. Yeah, I am the game. Triple H, I'm gonna bury the entire talent so that I can keep the title. I'm gonna sleep with the boss's wife so that I can become the head of WWE. That is certainly what some people's opinion of Triple H is. Not mine. I think Triple H is legitimately one of the hardest working guys in all of wrestling. Daniel John says, this is one event no one can beat me on. Zen says, I need them to put another belt on Takesha, or Takeshita. Takeshita? See, whenever I see that name, Takeshita or whatever, all I can think of is Jim Cornette from the Jim Cornette Experience podcast, and he keeps calling him Take a Shit, and it's like, oh my goodness, no, that's not his name, because you just took the A in the middle of the name, and I'm like, oh no. But yeah, Takeshita is amazing. He's huge. He knows how to wrestle. He is stiff, and I think he's going to be a huge, huge name so long as he's booked properly. Awesome in the ring, and he just won the G1. Very, very cool. Daniel Jones says, I average over 1,000 points on this event. Wow, that is very cool. That is very, very strong indeed, Daniel. Ghost Harrow Reader says, who is your favorite wrestling couple? Well, what do you mean by wrestling couple? Are we talking wrestling couple as in, Triple H and Stephanie, or Stone Cold Steve Austin and Deborah, or Cody and Brandy, or Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green, or something like that? Or are you talking wrestling couple as in like a tag team as in the Dudley Boys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, Edge and Christian, things like that? Because it's two very, very different answers. Ghost Harrow Reader says real life couple, not on screen couple. Oh, well, that one's pretty difficult. Bianca Belair and Montez Ford are no, Bianca Belair. Yeah, it's Bianca Belair and Montez Ford. Yeah, they're pretty good. Jey Uso, Naomi, obviously. Ludwig, Tiffany Stratton's pretty strong. I know that Gunther just got married recently, although I have no idea because I don't know anything about his girl because she's not a wrestler, and honestly, I have no real interest in looking into people's real life stories. I am quite satisfied to just look at their wrestling storylines and their bigger than life characters. But yes. Shimon White says they are our IRL codes. Oh wait, not me. Never mind. Um, Marie Chan says Yota Tsuji, Yota Tsuji was supposed to have won the G1, but he was KO'd by fail from his match with Evil. Ah. Um, Shimon White says Jimmy Uso Naomi. Typo. Zen says I heard, but I'm glad they pivoted and it was to someone tell me how to pronounce Takeshita. Is it Takeshita? Am I saying that wrong? It sounds like it's wrong. It sounds like I'm saying something incorrect there. Takeshita. Is that how it's said? Gunther's wife was a wrestler for quite a while. Oh, she retired to be a mom and stuff. I didn't know that. That's very awesome. I didn't know that. That's very cool. Ghost Tarot Reader says Gunther is with an ex-wrestler. Jenny, she wrestled in NXT UK. Oh. Oh, did they meet up in NXT UK? If so, that's very cool. That's awesome. WNO says I'm back. Welcome back. Zen says Ta Kshet Takesh Takeshita. That's how it is. It's Takeshita. That's how you pronounce that. Not whatever it was I was saying, not Takeshita. It's Takeshita. I knew I was saying something wrong. I knew it. Thank you, Zen, especially for putting it in a way that I could understand. Takeshita, that's how you say his name. Ghost Trader Reader says, woo, well done. Says, yep, you got it. Thank you. I honestly, there's people out there that hate being corrected. I am not one of them. I love being corrected. I love being told, hey, you're not doing this the best way you can do it. Try this. I think that's very, very cool. So I thank you for that, Zen. That is very much appreciated. Takeshita, that's how you say his name. My goodness. I was actually reading something the other day that said English is one of the few languages that the way that things are written is not the way that they're pronounced. Like, for example, if I were to say Queen, I wouldn't be pronouncing it Queen. I'd be pronouncing it Kween because that's how you say Queen. If I would say Queen as in Queen, it'd be more like Queen. So yes, so that is one of those languages that it doesn't look the way that it's pronounced. So Mary Chen says, I can't say most words as I stutter and I have bad problems pronouncing words. Well, it's some people have hell, I'm tripping over my own words right now, you know? It's sometimes you just have to take a chance, you just have to take a second, let your brain process the words, and then, come out with it. That's basically that's what I try and do. But sometimes my mouth just runs away with me and my brain's thinking about something else, and then my brain will be like, hang on, what the hell did we just say? Are we supposed to say that? That sounded rude. And I'll end up saying stuff that I don't mean to say. So actually, having something that makes you think about what it is you're saying might actually be better. It gets you in less trouble. There's pros and cons to all things. Mary Chan says, but I love Japanese wrestling, and my favorite promotion is New Japan Pro Wrestling. I actually used to know the person that was in charge of New Japan Pro Wrestling because he was in charge of Bushiroad, and Bushiroad was the company that I became a world champion in. Back when I used to play Card Fight Vanguard and Future Card Buddy Fight. Future Card Buddy Fight is not a game anymore, unfortunately, got cancelled. But yes, guy that owns Bushiroad, very, very cool guy, very nice, very down to earth. And he has actually been to my shop, which I was very, very pleased with. Siobhan White says, you were a wrestler's Grand Cat? No, I was never a wrestler. I was a card game player, which is Very, very shockingly different. But no, I have been to 5 World Championships for card games over in Japan, all of which were paid for by Bishore for me, which is very, very nice of them. And I was a world champion of that. So, yes, that's what I used to do. And since then, I now casually play games, which you can still see me playing card games right here on this very channel. They go up every single day. But of course, they're not WWE Supercard videos, so they don't get an awful lot of views. This is the main thing that you guys all come to see me for. So, Zen says, I'm different due to being a bit on the spectrum and think I'm out so wrong, so I'm glad you didn't take it wrong. You know, it's called a spectrum for a reason, Zen, and everyone is on it to some degree. There is no one that is not on the spectrum at one degree or another. Some people can be very, very far left on the spectrum. Some people can be very, very far right on the spectrum. But everyone is on the spectrum in one way or another. And yes, even Grandcat is on the spectrum to an extent. So I would... where was I going with this? I was just ranting. My goodness. Shouldn't rant on the internet. Who on earth would want to hear that? No, what was I going to say? Yes, so we're all different, is what I'm trying to say. And it's something that you should be proud of. You should be proud to be unique. And certainly big old Grandcat certainly is. Because if I was the same as everyone else, I would be a big old Grandcat, would I? With that words of wisdom, folks, it is now 20 past 11 here in the home of the Grandcat here in Scotland. And I think I am getting quite tired, as I can hear myself ranting and raving on about things. My brain has shut off, it has turned itself off, and and my mouth is just running. So I think I should maybe end the stream before big old Grandcat gets tired and says something stupid. So let's just go ahead and read the last few comments here, and then we're going to finish up this. Konosuke says it's his first. Oh, Konosuke is his first name, the New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 winner. I find his name hard to say. Konosuke, I know how to say. It was Takeshita that was the part that I was forgetting how to say it. Zen says, I have a huge problem with the tone of my words, and honestly is sometimes too harsh for people. It's no filter, but no harm. Well, honestly, I appreciate people that are honest. It is the ones that aren't honest are the ones that you have to watch out for. Latimer says, bye, Grandcat. Siobhan White says, bye, Grandcat. Ghost Trader says, bye, Grandcat. You have a great night. I hope that everyone in my entire Grandcat Grand Fleet all has a wonderful night, a wonderful day tomorrow, and a wonderful rest of the week. In fact, actually, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the year. But with that said, folks, that is now going to be it for this little video, and I really hope you've all enjoyed. And if you did enjoy it, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click that notification icon so that you can see when more of these glorious little videos go out. And we shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody. Totally forgot that I normally finish with putting up the special card. So with that said, folks, I hope you all enjoyed, and we shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.